All right, so have a nice day, everyone. So in this session, we'll be going to discuss the operations of the graph, which we do have the specific operations, the breadth first traversal, as well as the depth first traversal. So we'll be going to first see the breadth first traversal, or the BFS. So in this session, for the breadth first traversal, it is actually means that we uses all the cues specifically to remember to get the next vertex to start a search when a when a dead end occurs in any iteration. So we are actually exploring every adjacent of every specific node. And also you can definitely start at any root nodes here. So basically, either you will start at 3, 4, 5, it depends on you. That's actually fine. However, I'll be going to give you definitely in your exam, since there is A or 1, you need to start at A or into the 1. Then you are traversing the vertex as close as possible, then move forward. And insert in any order, it's fine. Okay, so with this particular graph we have here, we do have the undirected graph. Undirected means that we don't have particular direction. So here we go. We are getting the result of the breadth first traversal and the Q, since we are using the Q. Okay, in this one here, say for example, you begin with particular node 1. So we visit in our traversal, visit the node 1, and in our queue, the specific queue, which is 1. So with that particular stacks class, which is specifically the 1, you will need to determine what will be the adjacent for that. So the adjacent for 1 is definitely 2, 3, and 4. So you need to put that right there. 2, 3, and 4. All right. So there you go. You need to put that right there, which is the adjacent for 1, which is a 2, 3, and 4. Then here in your queue, you will be going to in queue the 2, 2, followed by 3, and 4. That is definitely still fine if you will be going to use, for example, in your queue, if you will be going to particularly put that in any order, that's absolutely good, fine as well, since there is no specific given rule with the breadth first traversal. So here, with your exam, so that we will be having a uniform answer, much better you'll just put that in order, okay? So that it will be best for us to know that particularly. So we already in queue the 2, 3, and 4. So since in that one class, in our queue, we are definitely removing at the front point, and we are inserting at the rear point, right? So you still remember those things. All right, so here we already done with 1. So crash out. Then proceed to next, which is, what will be the next? We are done with 1. So you in a DQ that in your with your queue. So just crush it out only. Do not remove the entire element. Just put that right there as crush like that. Then next is you need to visit the second, excuse me, in our queue, which is the number 2. So there you go. You will visit the number 2. you will visit the number 2 right now, which is particularly, the number 2, which is our next node or vertex we'll be going to visit then. Okay, so since this, you need to write everything, ha? Sa result BFS, this one, slowly gina, dapat. Then in our queue, there you go. We need to check what will be the adjacent for number 2. Okay, there you go. What will be the adjacent for our vertex 2, which is the number 1, number 3, and number 5. So here, 1, 3, and number 5. So since 1 is already added in our queue, just crash it out. And 2 is given, hindi siya adjacent. Sorry. 3 is already in our queue, so just crash it out. So 5 is not yet, so therefore you need to update into your queue, in queue 5. So there you go. We are done with specific node, root node 1 and root node 2. So we are done here. So crash lang natin si 1 and 2. So we are done with 1 and 2. Next node here in our queue, next element is 3. So we will now be going to visit the number 3. So here. It's very simple, class. So just put number 3 in your result, since that is the element that we are now visiting. So you'll be going to check the third, number 3, vertex, what will be the adjacent? So the adjacent for number 3 is 1, 2, 4, and 5. Okay. So here, 1 is already in our queue, 2 is already in our queue, 4 as well, and 5 as well. So therefore, nothing to update in our queue. So here, you just have to crash out 1, 2, we are done with 1 and 2, and 3. So next, number 4, we will be going to go with number 4. So since we need to really check that until the dead end class is all of the vertex is all being visited. So 4 now will be our thing that we need to visit. 3 is done, so crash it out. So number 4, what will be the element present into that or adjacent, which is 1, 3, and 5. So you need to write down these things, particularly with your graph. So 1 is already done, added in your queue. 3 is done, added in your queue, and 5 as well. So there's nothing to add more. So there we already visited 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now, lastly, which is the number 5. So here, class, with your number 5, just put that there. So visit number 5. What will be the adjacent? We're done with 4. 5 is adjacent 4. 2, 3, and 4. Okay. That's fine if in any order, huh? It's fine. However, with our exam, you need to put that in order so that we'll be going to basically have the same answer. And 2, 3, 5, so let's check. 2 is already added in our queue. 3 is already added in our queue, and 5 is already present in our queue. So we are done with 5. So in our queue, DQ 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're done with those things. So basically, since we are done, this is our result for our breadth-first traversal, which is the 1, 2, 3, and 5. So your breadth-first traversal is a result for this particular graph is definitely in order, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That is our final answer, breadth-first traversal. So that's absolutely how we will begin to come up with that certain operation with particular breadth-first traversal. So now let's proceed to the next topic, which is the depth-first traversal. So here, class, the same example. For depth-first traversal or DFS, what we are doing here is definitely we are using the stacks. Stacks is like this. LIFO, last in, first out. Basically, you still remember that into your last prelim topic, I guess. So let's definitely dig it more. All right, there you go. What you will be going to do here, class, is basically, what you will begin to do in here is you are getting the result of their DFS, which is depth-first traversal, followed by the stack. So the stack. So everything, class, result of DFS. So everything is, you need to do this step by step as well. The same thing with breadth-first traversal. So only one will be inserted in the stacks and only one adjacent will be going to particularly be added into that particular stack. Okay, must be only one adjacent will be inserted, what I mean. So we are exploring the unvisited graph node. So explore or visit those unvisited node and take any one of that adjacent. We are taking any one of that adjacent. You will be the one to particularly check class. Ikaw na bahala sa imo route. Ikaw na bahala sa imo path. So in your exam, para simple, you just have to visit in ascending order from 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that, so that we will be having a uniform quiz. Answer. Okay. So listen to this tutorial carefully so that in your final exam you can follow. Even though, class, we don't have in depth-first traversal, you can definitely visit in any particular node, but so that may uniform ta, ipasunod nyo na lang. Okay, gets nyo? All right. So if dead end, so we will do backtrack for that, basically, by popping every element step by step. Then after visiting all node, we keep on popping or backtracking. Amo lang na siyang buhaton ta. Okay. This actually is something really taas ni siya, laba ni siya answer, basically. Okay. So for this particular one, with our result of DFS, so say for example, we begin, so like I said earlier, we begin with 1. If this is in A, B, C, D, A, E, you just start with letter A as well. Okay, so here we go. We will be set letter A with our particular graph. So, 1, dali. Tao lang. So for our stack, you push stack 1. Okay, you push 1. So I will not be going to ask you, class, to add or to draw stacks every every steps. Wala na kuya ga-ask. Amo na lang ni result of DFS and the stocks. So that I could be able to still assess nga kung ano ang mga route nga inyo na visit. So here we go. With this particular thing, what will be the adjacent? You compare. What will be adjacent is 2, 3, and 4. So, like I said earlier, you can definitely choose only one adjacent. Only one adjacent in that particular adjacent for this graph, which for this one. So, since what I've said earlier is definitely what I've said earlier. I'm sorry, class. What I've mentioned earlier is you can definitely ipasunod ta na lang para uniform ta, di ba? So, here, what you will be going to do is definitely go into number 2. So, you need to create an arrow sang imo ginvisit nga route. And that's a plus, that's absolutely a score then. Amo lang na siyang pangitaon ko ha, every graph ha. Isa lang ka graph, kag I don't want you to draw the stocks. Just amo lang ni or result of DFS and stock normally. So that's basically so simple. So with regards to this, is result 1 and stock 1. So I go with the route number 2. So therefore, in your stocks, you are having 1 and 2. So there you go. Proceed to the next steps, which is you already done with your let's go to the number 2. Let's proceed to given node 2 since amo na siya ang imo ginvisit. So there you go. Number 2 will be added here already in your result. Sang that first since amo na imo gin-search, gin-visit. All right, let's proceed. 2 is being pushed with your stacks here. Sang number 1. Okay. So here, with regards to this one, you check what will be the adjacent. 1, 3, 4. So 1, 3, and 4. Sorry. 1, 3, and 5. So since like I said, pasunurum ta na lang, so we'll go with 3. So create an arrow. Sorry, ka-perfect sang arrow ni sir. Basta arrow na sa. Basta iutod-utod nyo lang ang arrow nyo para makita kung amo na ang route na follow nyo. So 3 is being visited. So therefore, push 3 sang stacks. So what will gonna happen? You update here in your stacks. You push the 3. All right. So we are done with regards to that one. So go naman ta sa node 3. So update that into your result. Then stack 1, 2, 3. So what will be the adjacent for 3? The adjacent is 1, 4, and 5. As long as class, remember that it should not be a cycle. Hindi siya dapat mag-cycle kay amo na ang rules ta. So if you will go with 1, it will become a cycle. So therefore, we cannot go ahead and do there. So 4 and 5 and 2. So cannot visit 2 as well. So right now, we'll go with 4. Okay, create an arrow to 4. Okay. Hindi maklaro si blue. Basta kay sa 4 na siya nag-point. Sa 4. Then, what will gonna happen? You push number 4 in your stacks. Then, here, you will go with 4 and update. So here, class, right now, you will definitely go ahead and make sure to visit na naman si number 4. We are done with 4. Update that one. So sa 4, si sino naman ang imo nga ano? Sino naman ang imo adjacent? Si 5, 1, 3. Wala na siya. So therefore, since 1, we cannot do there because that's a cycle. So we'll go with 5. I'm sorry. Very perfect. Okay. So in your stacks, you update 5. All right. So with your stacks here, you go with 5. All right. So what will gonna happen? You visit number 5 already. So you go with 5. Sino adjacent? Si 3, 2. So since we don't have anything here, we cannot go ahead. Kay ma-cycle na siya, hindi na ito makonect kay 2, hindi na ito makonect kay 3, may cycle man. So therefore, we need to do the backtrack. So what will happen in our backtrack is we go back to 4. Go back to 4 and pop number 5. So we pop kasi 5. There you go. It's already being popped. So next here, ipop mo si 5. Pop 5. Then update here si 5. Then after that class, since 4 is visited, ma-visit ka naman kung may route pa ba nga wala na visit. So since none, na-visit na si 1 kag si 5, backtrack again. So we'll go with backtrack and pop number 4. So what will gonna happen? 1, 2, 3. So you pop number 4 and right now, check number 3 if may cycle pa ba nga unvisited. So wala naman. So another, you need to backtrack and pop number 3. Ano lang ginabuhaton mo? So another thing will gonna happen. Remove 3. I'm sorry, class. Remove 3 or pop 3. So there you go. Then, wala na sa. After that, you'll check specific number 2. So sang 2, sino pa man ang wala na visit, so there's none. So therefore, backtrack again. So after this one, backtrack na naman tayo. Wala na siya, class, ha? Always remember for this thing that you will be going to do. So backtrack, pop number 2, remove si 2 sa aton stacks. So there you go. Si 1 na. So 1, sino pa bang mga vertex nga adjacent na wala pa na visit? Since none, backtrack again. And it should, the last point, you need to put the last end, you'll just have to put like this. Stack is empty. Then you print the final result, which is DFS. Indicate mo, DFS is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Ano na siya? Very simple indeed, right? So that is really simple and can be answered by elementary. I know that you can do this in your exam and definitely study class for those who are absent with my class. So basically that is how we could be able to come up with our operations with graph. So for question, drop your answer. Question in the comment section, or I will could be able to definitely answer that in your specific group chats. Thank you so much, and have a great day to you, class. And yes, good luck for your examination. And I'll be going to discuss the spanning tree as well as the shortest path in the next tutorial. Thank you.